Hello and welcome back. Hope you're all having a great day today. As we know, 2022 is going to be an excellent year for Star Wars. After the Book of Boba Fett comes to a close, we're going to have 4 more shows coming to Disney Plus in 2022, including the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, the Cassian Andor show, the Mandalorian Season 3, and the Bad Batch Season 2. But what I really wanted to try and figure out was when these shows are going to come out throughout the year. So without further ado, let's jump in. So I had a pretty good theory about when I thought these shows were going to come out after doing some research and after doing some thinking about it. And then something got leaked. So pretty much what happened was an employee from Lucasfilm made a tweet saying that there was going to be the Kenobi show premiering in May of 2022, only to delete it the next day, realizing that, well, that hasn't been announced yet. And then with a follow-up tweet saying that they were in fact talking about a new issue of the Kenobi comic book. Yes, a comic book on Disney Plus. And after hearing that has definitely put a different perspective on my mind. I've definitely seen my theory different now, as it has been, well, disproven. So here's my updated theory, and here's what I think is going to happen in terms of when these shows are going to be released throughout the year. So first of all, we of course know that Kenobi is going to come out sometime, most likely in May, and I have 2 theorized possible dates for this release. The first is May 4th, because, well, it's Star Wars Day. But the only interfering factor is the fact that Marvel's Moon Knight is going to come out around March 30th and then end at around the end of April, early May, which could interfere with that show. So I did some calculations based on the fact that we have 6 episodes and took a look pretty much at my calendar, and it seems that most likely, according to what I've calculated, that this show, Marvel's Moon Knight, will have the finale release on Wednesday, May 4th. So that technically does mean that if we did release Kenobi on May 4th, we'd have 2 big Disney Plus shows coming out on the same day. But they won't technically be interfering, so it could work. Now, my second theory is May 25th, and the reason I say this is because this is when a lot of Star Wars movies were actually released, including Solo, A Star Wars Story, A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and it feels like a good date to release it because it won't interfere with Marvel's Moon Knight. It'll give us lots of time to release trailers and build up the hype, and it just feels like a plausible time in May. Now, I think the next show to come out is probably going to be Andor, because according to some research that I did, it's supposed to come out apparently sometime kind of in the fall-ish kind of area, and according to this website, and I don't know if this is true or not, or if this is just a guess, but they said that it's going to come out sometime around like July, early July, going to the end of September, as this show will be quite long, as it has 12 episodes coming out weekly. So I think that makes sense. So we'll start off with Kenobi, kind of in the May area, and then starting in like July to the end of September, we'll have Cassian Andor. So next is the Mandalorian Season 3. According to some information that I read, apparently this season is supposed to come out sometime kind of in the near the end or late part of 2022. So that means it's probably going to come out like either, at the beginning of December bleeding into like the end of January of 2023, or it'll come out like the beginning or the middle of November and kind of continue to the end of December, beginning of January. Or they'll do something, and I think this is the least likely. I don't think this is going to happen, but possibly they'll do what they did with the Book of Boba Fett and actually have it like premiere at the very end of December and then kind of going into like all of January and like the all of February, though I don't think that's very likely. Now, quickly, just for your information, if you're curious, I'm going to tell you about the different shows and how many episodes they're going to have. So the Cassian Andor show is going to have 12 episodes. The Bad Batch Season 2 will have 16 episodes. The Kenobi show will have 6 episodes. In the Mandalorian Season 3, I can't seem to find how many episodes there will be, but I'm very confident that it's going to be 8 episodes, because that's how many episodes Season 1 and Season 2 have. So, of course, we still have to talk about the Bad Batch and when the Bad Batch is going to come out. So obviously, Kenobi's going to come out in May, and then not that long after will be Andor, and then not that long after will be The Mandalorian. So there's not a lot of time to fit in the show in between then, which means that the show is most likely going to come out, at least I think, sometime before Kenobi. Most likely, I think, in the month of March, because it doesn't interfere with Marvel's Moon Knight. And obviously, the show has 16 episodes, which, if they were releasing that weekly, would be 4 months, which is just too long to run a show on one streaming service and just just push everything else off, which is of course not realistic and not what they're gonna do. And if I remember correctly, I think last season they released them more often than just once a week in order to allow the 16 episodes to premiere faster and not take up 4 months straight of just Disney Plus. So that's probably what they're gonna do with this season as well. And I think most likely it's gonna be like in the month of March, releasing from the beginning to the end of March, releasing the 16 episodes, however many episodes a week they'll release, or if they'll just release them all at once. I think that's probably what they're gonna do. So, just to put a cap on it, here is our working theory. Starting off at number 1 is the Bad Batch in March. It's probably most likely spanning across the entire month. Next will be the Kenobi show, coming out sometime in May, most likely either May 4th or around May 25th. And then third will be the Cassian Andor show, coming out most likely in the beginning of July to the end of September. And finally, the Mandalorian Season 3, coming out either in the beginning or middle of November or at the beginning of December, bleeding into the end of January of 2023. Now, quick disclaimer, just so you're clear, none of this stuff is confirmed. This is just my opinions, my theories, and some information on the internet that may or may not be true. So none of this is actually confirmed information. And with that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Before you go, do me a favor and in the comments down below, let me know which show you are most excited to see, and I will see you all in the next one. May the Force be with you.